Hello all, and welcome to another episode of the Market Pulse presented by SmartTouch. I'm your host, Aaron Fichera, and today we have a wonderful guest with us, the Chief Impact Officer of Austin Habitat for Humanity, Billy Whipple. Billy, welcome to the program.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
Billy, first I want to kind of give the audience, before diving into your background and just the incredible work that Austin Habitat is doing for the Central Texas area and how the audience could get involved. But, for those that are living under a rock, Austin Habitat for Humanity has been around since 1986. I mean, your core mission is around home, communities, and hope. And over that time, you've built over 570 plus homes, over 400 repairs, engage over 10,000 volunteers annually, and operate 3 restores, which repurpose material that help build these wonderful homes, as well as fund these great projects that you guys are just a part of. And, Billy, how does one become the Chief Impact Officer? I mean, how'd you get involved in such just wonderful network?
Yeah, thanks. And yeah, we're a fantastic affiliate here in Austin and very, very proud of what we do. I actually started with Austin Habitat in 2009. Before that, I was a carpenter up in New England, doing remodels and, just kind of a laborer, carpenter's apprentice on high-end customs. But when the market kind of fell out, or when the market did fall out in 2007, 8, 9, around that same time, the owner of the company I worked for passed away. So all I wanted to do was build houses. And I was 21, 22 years old, and kind of my dream just evaporated in front of me. And kind of looking around, I knew I really loved home building. And my brother actually moved to Wichita, Kansas from New Hampshire, and he did a program called AmeriCorps, which is a domestic service program similar to kind of the Peace Corps.
Okay.
But it's in the States and you work with nonprofits. So he went and worked for after school program. And I saw that as an opportunity, and I started looking around and always had the dream of, moving from New Hampshire to Austin, and Austin Habitat for Humanity. So it was an opportunity for me to continue to build homes. And when I got here in August of 2009, I really didn't know too much about the mission deeply. I knew very kind of high level of what we were going to do. I was only supposed to be here for 11 months.
You stayed around for a bit longer.
Yep. So that 11 months, and from there I was going to go out to California, but here I am. So did AmeriCorps and really fell in love with the mission, because worked alongside future home buyers, worked alongside these great volunteers every day, and there was this passion that you felt, and it really, I knew I wanted to build homes, but I knew I wanted to do more than that. And this was the place to do that. Super, super lucky to land here.
Nice.
Since then, kind of moved up through the ranks on the construction side, became a project manager, ended up moving to Nashville, Tennessee, working for an affiliate there, Habitat for Humanity of Williamson Murray. And there I worked on the fundraising side and the community engagement side, and then became the construction director there. Life changes, brought me back to Austin at that point, kind of jumped back in to Austin Habitat. And since then, kind of expanded my role from, I still am involved with the construction, but real estate acquisition, design, development, construction, our client services team, where we, find the home buyers, qualify the home buyers, all that good stuff, our home repair program, and as well as our home-based program. So all of our direct services I get to work with, which is, I couldn't ask for more.
No, I mean, it's just for those that are listening, the amount of services, and we'll dive into some of those, but it's incredible, the amount of just facets of home ownership and attainability, and just what you guys offer. And because you have that unique experience of seeing this, just this nonprofit, this American institution. When I think of Habitat, I think of Jimmy Carter swinging a hammer, and it's just an iconic staple in American housing. What makes the Austin habitat different or unique compared to other cities?
So when you look at the housing market in general, Austin is a big town or a small city, or that's what it's been known as for a long time. But over the last 15 or 20 years, we've seen incredible growth, right? Population, incomes, all of that. But what that's done is really put a lot of pressure on the housing market. And one of the great things about Habitat for Humanity from an international network is the affiliates get to operate independently and solve the housing crisis on a local level. So what we do here in Austin is a little different than what my approach was in Nashville. So here in Austin, it's you, you really have to take what the market is dealing with and find how you can leverage that into affordable home ownership.
Mhm.
So a lot of that is creativity. We have condos, we have townhomes. So really bringing products to the market in Central Texas that haven't been all that popular yet to try to find other ways to thread the needle and get housing at an attainable sales price.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's community partnerships. So one of the things we're really fortunate with here is the City of Austin's general obligation bond. It allows us to continue to operate in the City of Austin because the taxpayers support affordable housing with their tax dollars, and it goes directly into helping other people kind of get this ladder that helps them get to that next tier of life. And that's
Yeah.
really what I love about what we do is we just build a ladder with people and they can climb it into home ownership and get that stability and move on to the next thing.
Yeah. I mean, report after reports and studies show that stable housing just leads to personal development and, stabilization of the individual growth, which again, if that happens on the local level, it can only just bleed into the community and make a stronger community. Um,
Exactly.
I mean, well, to that point, you guys have probably dealt with it, that the taboo of affordable housing and dealing with local governance and how people view, the affordable housing and how we're kind of shifting towards attainable housing, especially with, like you were saying, with the markets. And uh, how would you, are finding the difference between that, and how is Austin Habitat kind of addressing those challenges?
Yeah. There's always a little bit of stigma, a little bit
Yeah.
of NIMBYism, but generally people are supportive, and generally people do want to help their neighbor. And that's one thing I've learned through this work is just how supportive people can be. We hear and sometimes experience something different, but when you really get to know the mission and you really get to know the people we are working with, it everything changes because with Austin Habitat for Humanity, we're serving, and I'm going to get into a little bit of industry jargon.
Yeah, please.
We're serving primarily people that earn below 80% of the median family income for our metro service area.
Hmm.
So for a household of four, that's over $100,000 a year for that household. We all know these households. It's not anybody that necessarily did anything wrong or didn't try. They in the city of Austin, you have to make, I don't know the exact figure off the top of my head, but I think it's 140 to 150% of the median family income to
Yeah.
afford a starter
Well
home in
into
our
the six
city.
figures. Hmm.
So the housing market has this chasm between what people are earning and then what people can afford. And what we do is we step in and try to fill that void. And we've taken a lot of different approaches at that. So from different housing typologies for different lifestyles. So we have small condos for folks low maintenance, people that, including myself, don't like to cut their grass, don't like all that. So we have condos for that lifestyle, or younger households looking to start, or older households that this might be the first home they ever bought, but it's their empty nester home, right? They can they can now afford their own condo. We also have townhomes. We have single family homes for those folks that lifestyle is more fitting for them. But really trying to serve a lot of different uh, price points and a lot of different incomes throughout this, because we are one of the very, very few, and we are the biggest of anybody building housing directly marketed towards that income demographic. So I feel a lot of responsibility within that, and I want to have a good spectrum of housing, a good spectrum of pricing, to make sure that we are not just targeting one specific household makeup, but we can accomplish a lot with what we're doing. So that chasm in the just the housing market, the American dream starts fading for a lot of people, and all we're trying to do is bring that dream and bring that hope back to more households in the city of Austin and our surrounding area.
From what I'm hearing, from what you're saying, that sounds like, those barriers that you're kind of dealing with on a very month to month year basis of, product market fit and, those townhomes or those condos that may be a better fit for persona or demographic. Do you see any other barriers that you guys are dealing with, or that's kind of on your mind?
So, I mean, things are getting more expensive. One thing that, as builder developers, we
Yeah.
are
Logistics,
yeah,
inflation, material costs, lead times,
exactly.
regulations. I mean,
It
it's
so
everything.
that pushes our expenses up, but our sales price doesn't have a one-to-one impact on that, like you might see more in kind of a market environment. Uh, we have our sales prices are dictated by what is 25 or 28% of the income of the demographic we're trying to serve. So, because we don't want our home buyers to ever spend more than 30% on housing.
Yeah.
So, we, and since we have this cap on income of what people can make, or they become overqualified for our program. So our sales prices are more dictated by incomes, and our costs are dictated by the market environment. So the
Sometimes
it
it's just two competing factors where they're going in the
exactly.
opposite direction.
So that increases our gap, right? Because we're
Yeah.
going to sell for 200,000, but once you get land, soft cost, hard cost, all that stuff in the equation, it's going to cost us more than $200,000 to deliver a home.
Yeah.
Um, so that's that gap, and we have to fill that gap. So we fill that through philanthropy, we fill that through public funding, we fill that through a lot of different partnerships. But as that gap gets bigger and bigger, and we're trying to build more and more homes, it becomes kind of exponentially more challenging, but the need is still there.
Well, and to that point, which kind of gets into our next section around partnerships, is that, you guys have done incredible work here in the Central Texas, namely, working with local officials like in Whisper Valley or Home Base. I don't know if you want to
Hmm.
kind of give any background to, you know, how do these initiatives expand the impact, and how does this all work? Like, what's the mechanic of a nonprofit working with the public to provide affordable housing? How does it
Yeah,
work?
yeah, it's we've learned a lot over the last 5 years. I think our friends and partners in the for-profit development and building community have also learned a lot, that this is what we're good at, is building and selling homes that folks can afford at or below 80% median family income. That's our sweet spot. That's our target. That's what we like to do. A lot of these new communities, a lot of these master planned communities that have cropped up all around Central Texas, from Whisper Valley to Sunfield, to when some developers bought school district property, they negotiate with the municipalities on kind of what's the public benefit of this, and a lot of that, affordability has been top of mind for a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of these communities, with when they developed their community in partnership with the municipality, they decided that they were going to have affordable housing. And that's really where we're stepping in as Habitat for Humanity, is we are stepping in to deliver that for them. So they're not asking somebody that might build a product that's much different to try to deliver affordable housing, because it's a very different animal from a finance structure, from a, you know, from a sales structure, through all of that.
Yeah.
It's a very, very different animal. So that's how we're stepping in and working with these developers and municipalities to deliver on their goals. That's what we're here to do. And selling affordable housing is very different. So we have another nonprofit called Homebase that you
Mhm.
mentioned. So Homebase is a real estate brokerage that partners with developers that are building their own affordable housing. So we come in and we validate the affordable housing sales or rentals, whatever the negotiation between the developer and the municipality was. So we validate that that is actually happening. So we can step in and make sure that the promises that were made are being kept. But we can also, we're the real estate brokerage, so we can sign listing agreements with these developers to actually sell their affordable units. Again, it's a
Wonderful.
different market, it's a different clientele.
Well, and they
One
probably
thing,
also benefit from having association with the, Austin Habitat brand in itself and that kind of
exactly.
confidence.
Yeah, yeah, we've been around for 40 years, and
Yeah.
we've developed a pretty strong reputation. So it is nice that we are able to use that to really kind of comfort people, and
Yeah.
that the affordable housing is going to be delivered, it's going to be managed, uh, and working with these various builders and developers to help them deliver theirs, because a lot of the affordable home ownership in our city is is designed and entitled so it will be affordable for the long term, whether it's 40 years or 99 years. There's different communities with different barriers. So when that home, because it takes some subsidy to get that house there. So those home buyers will earn equity, but they'll also, in a when they go to sell, will sell it to another affordable buyer. So
Nice.
it's a give and a take a little bit along the way, that we want to make sure that that investment from our community
Is a
carries
bit of a
forward.
pay it forward. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I love it. And, to that point in oversight and, we do have some builders and developers that, listen in. How do they get involved? When would, in the process of planning, a community, would a developer builder want to bring in Habitat to help give that stamp of approval and work with the municipality?
yeah. We like to be in as early as possible. Obviously, if we're doing some sort of private restrictive covenant, that normally pops up during the entitlement period. So that's about as early as possible. So if there is any builders or developers out there trying to determine what exactly their community is going to be, and they're having those conversations with different community members and with municipalities, and affordability is being tossed around, and that can get them to where they want to go, that's when we want them to reach out to us. What we don't want is for additional housing units or affordable housing to not happen because of the fear of the unknown of affordable housing. So that's when they should reach out to Austin Habitat for Humanity or Home Base Texas, and bring us in, and we can help talk through what that looks like and what that process is. And we've worked with dozens uh, of different builders and developers over the last 10 years on helping them kind of see their developments through and making sure that things pencil. I like to be involved on pricing. If it's ownership, there's some ways you can calculate it, but you're going to calculate it to the high end of the affordable market, and that's fine. It's just, I want to set the expectations that you're looking for a couple of unicorns to sell that, because they're going to be right up at that 79.9%
Yeah.
MFI, and we have to find those people. So how do we price it so it is affordable in the long term, and it's, we can get the largest market available. So the earlier the better, but even if, we have some developers that are like 80% built out and then they realize, oh, we still have some affordability we need to do. We've stepped in there as well. Whether we're selling it or building it, we've done both.
Wonderful. Well, kind of taking it to a more uh, larger pool of volunteers, and just being the time of the year, it's December, we're in our holiday period. We just finished up Thanksgiving. It's like we were talking about, it's that weird period of nobody wants to get anything done, but, if we have to commit to action, let's commit to giving back. How can people look to get back? What's the best way for viewers to get involved in
Yeah.
Austin Habitat?
I mean, there's a ton of great ways. That's one of the things I love about Habitat is it has something for everybody, right? Uh, one way you mentioned the restores. So we have our restores as we are, if we're so blessed and fortunate to fill our houses with new
Oh,
furniture
and,
and
and they're
TVs.
incredible too. It's not like
And
worn down stuff too. I mean, this
no,
is just state of the art. I mean, it's
yeah,
absolutely beautiful
you can do some shopping.
hardware. Yeah.
We have I think we've had our Christmas decorations up for sale since October. But also at the end of the year, you got to clean out some stuff, drop it off, take couches, TVs, furniture, clothing, all that good stuff. So you can donate, unneeded housing goods to our stores. We sell that, and that funds our mission. Funding our mission is very important. We have our year end giving campaign coming up, so this is a huge time for nonprofits. We were talking a little bit earlier. It's kind of make or break for a lot of nonprofits for the year. Uh, and think about us. You can go to austinhabitat.org. There's a splash that pops up. Make a gift, and we'd love to have that because we've gone from building 21 homes a year. If you look back 7 years ago, 21 homes a year. This year we're doing 91. Next year we're going to be in the 80s to 90s. So this growth
Yeah,
has
it's like
been
a 4 or 5
fantastic.
X.
Yeah, yeah, it's been great. But we do need funds to help us do it. And it's each one of these homes has multiple people living in it. And that's what they are. They're homes that folks are buying, that they're moving into, and they just need that little boost to stability. And every dollar helps us with that. And as you look into next year, we would love to have people come out and volunteer, corporations, individuals. Same thing on our website. You can go to the Get Involved page. If your company wants to get involved for some team building, we would love to have you join us, sponsor the day, get out there, build alongside our homeowners. No experience necessary. I feel like I always have to say that. But we love having folks engage with us on the job site as well.
I mean, you guys do incredible work. I mean, it's proof is in the pudding. And, for those that are listening, for myself too, and my wife, we always try to look for a charity at the end of the year, but it's always difficult because trying to find, sometimes nonprofits and charities can give others a bad name with administrative costs and, just faulty accounting. But you guys are just incredible because the money that is donated or the goods that are donated are in use, like at the restore. They're put into houses for use. The money is put into providing a pathway for the American dream for others, and the hands are put to work. It's not just,
Yeah,
sitting in the background, picking up the phone call and saying, oh, here's $20 and we feel good. And that's it. And then it goes
no,
into a black hole of initiatives.
we, that's what I love about Austin Habitat is we're incredibly focused and we're incredibly tangible. So from our developments, you guys can drive by them, you can see them. We're all throughout Central Texas. We put our money where our mouth is. We said we were going to grow. We grew. That's what we're about because this is a huge
Love it.
challenge. This is a huge housing affordability has been a challenge and it's going to be a challenge for a while. And I would love to work myself out of a job someday where the housing market is nice and everybody can play in it. Um, but right now that's not where we are. Even
We got a lot of work.
we have a home repair program. Just want to bring that up real quick. So
Yeah,
folks that already own their homes that we did not build. So we're talking longtime residents, South Austin, East Austin, Lockhart, Elgin, kind of those are our focus areas. And we're going in and doing $20,000-$30,000 worth of critical repairs so those folks can stay in their house. So that really helps them with their affordability. So they're not, that we're looking at generation houses that have been homes for generations. And someone just needs a roof repair and maybe accessibility modifications so they can use their shower again.
yeah,
It's a great part of our mission, and I love that we do that. And, we set a goal this year for 35. We completed that 3 weeks ago. We're probably going to get closer to 40 this year. So
congratulations.
yeah, I'm very very proud of that team too. So just doing everything we can to help make sure that you know we have as many new and improved households in our community as possible. Our goal is 1,200 new and improved households in the next 7 years.
Excellent. I mean, as we're kind of rounding out today's episode, we talked about donating. What's on the horizon? If people are getting involved, people are looking for what are some projects, what can they look forward to in 2026?
Yeah, 2026, we're going to be finishing up our largest development to date. So Persimmon Point, that's a fantastic condo community, and as we have grown and scaled, we have a lot of ownership opportunity there as well. We have ownership opportunity in our community. So I do want to point that out is that everything's not spoken for yet. So a way you can get involved is if this demographic, right? 1, 2, 3 person households earning 60 to, $100,000. If that's you or somebody in your life, you can really kind of serve them by telling them about us as well. And austinhabitat.org, there's an application page there. So we're finishing out 126 unit condo development. We are uh, going full throttle at Whisper Valley and our net zero capable community. We have a subdivision within the master plan community. So we'll be doing finishing out 25 homes there and starting another 8. Um, Kicking off land development on a little cottage community in San Marcos. So a lot of really, really good stuff going on.
Wonderful.
Very, very excited about next year and years to come and all the great work we have.
Well, it, it's a wonderful mission, and they definitely need the hands. But I mean, you guys are, like I said, growing 4 or 5x year after year, and I'm excited to see what's involved in 2026. And Billy, as always, I round out kind of our episodes with like if you could turn the clock back to '09 and '08 when you kind of made that shift from New Hampshire to Austin, or young professionals. We all started somewhere different. Well, what advice would you give young professionals kind of entering into the industry or just getting involved?
That's a great question, Aaron. As I look back at the person I was when I came here, and I didn't really understand the depth of what I was getting into with affordable home ownership. One of the things that people told me was stay committed and learn. And every time I moved through my career and every time I didn't necessarily make the step at the time I thought I was going to, um, I realized I had to learn something new and invested in my own education. But there was also the times that I stepped away from Habitat. When I moved to Nashville, I did sales for 5 weeks. Then I went right back to Habitat. When I came back to Austin, I interviewed with other builders. Then I came right back to Habitat. And I was thankful that the grass was always greener, kind of didn't catch up with me because of where I am now. And what our affiliate has grown to and what we're able to accomplish. I'm very thankful that I committed to it and stuck around. And and there's a lot that can be said for that. I think as far as a career, we say it in building all the time. Our construction team motto: slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I feel that way in a career as well.
Billy, I can tell that Central Texas has benefited from you planting roots with Austin Habitat. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very thankful for my job.
And thank you for the audience that took your time out of today. And, if you're thinking of an organization and to giving back in this holiday season, please think about Austin Habitat for Humanity and reach out to the wonderful people like Billy and his team. Billy, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
You as well.